Hey kid, do you like magic? Oh, thanks, Captioner. You made that way better, actually. How's it going, folks? It is 9:30 p.m. Local time, which is obscenely late for how I usually stream, but I don't know. I wanted to stream today, in spite of my my unfortunate sleep situation. So hopefully we have some fun with some magic today. Let's see. Probably gonna get some tunes going because let's start a little. Yeah, didn't want to start with what is it? Deadbolt, Deadlock, Dead something. The soundtrack's a little heavy for me. But what's not heavy is this cool cube. Oh, I still have my Kocha face up in the corner. You know what? That's probably fine. Oh, hey, explosions! See, I told you guys people were setting off fireworks. When the first one went off, it kind of sounded like, what was it? It sounded like a fudging shotgun blast. And I was in the washroom, so I was in the perfect place to get scared out of my pants, I suppose, but yeah, terrifying. And then the next couple of fireworks went off, and you know, loud, isolated explosion noises, and then I heard one that had a bit of sizzle to it, a bit of like, so I was like, oh, okay, it's fireworks. Actually, let me see if I can. Way too dark out to actually get a picture of what it looks like out my window, or either of my windows, because I have two. Super. The fireworks are definitely not visible enough to enjoy, so my experience is, oh cool, explosions. Anyways, so Arena has a cube now, which is pretty cool. It is a unique cube to Magic Arena itself, so it didn't add in any new cards. Like a while ago, there were a couple of pre-constructed decks that included some very powerful cards like Mox Pearl and Mox Jet and Black Lotus, so on, like some very, very powerful cards. So this doesn't quite have that level, but because of the historic anthologies, which are... The historic anthologies are basically ways of introducing new cards into the historic format. So historic isn't Pioneer. It doesn't go as far back as Pioneer in terms of like full sets. I think the oldest full set in historic is was it? Dominaria? Filter. Yeah. Magic Core 19, Dominaria, Rivals of Ixalan, and Ixalan. Oh wait, I think Ixalan came before Dominaria. So, Ixalan is the oldest set, like full set, that's in Historic. But, there are these Historic anthologies, which add some new cards to the Historic format without printing them into Standard. Can this cube play Mario Sunshine? Man, I do love me some Mario Sunshine. So yeah, the Historic Anthologies introduce a couple of cards. Usually they introduce cards that are, like, help out certain kinds of deck archetypes. So they included Soul Warden, whenever another creature enters the battlefield, gain 1 life. Sarah Ascendant, as long as you have 30 or more life, Sarah Ascendant has +5/+5 in flying, and it by itself is a 1/1 lifelink for 1. So it included a couple of cards that make life gain decks better, and then you have Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast, so getting some Death and Taxes type decks, just like taxing your opponent's resources as a way of securing victory. A lot of interesting cards they've introduced. So they are making use of those Historic Anthologies in the cube. So this way, you have access to all of the cards that have been printed into Historic. So you've got Magic 19 cards, you've got Dominaria cards. Sorry, Dominaria cards. But also, you have some... where is one? You have some older cards. What was a good example? Oh, Platinum Angel. So Platinum Angel hasn't been printed since Magic 2010, but here it is. And it's in the cube. So basically, in case you weren't aware, how a cube works is you build a large card pool, so all of these cards are available, and then you make packs out of them, and you draft them as if it were a normal set. It's interesting. Cubes are really interesting because rather than having to worry about, like, putting new cards into formats or trying to, there are some mechanics that work really well with other mechanics and some mechanics that really don't work well with other mechanics, so you can kind of curate what mechanics, what cards you have available to make a more interesting drafting experience. So, I haven't actually done much research in terms of what cards are available in this cube, but I figure it would probably be a good time to just give her. Just do it. Where are the hot cat furries? Let's see. Unfortunately, a lot of the cat furries are very basic cards that don't do anything fancy. Or at least outside of, like, Miri. Miri is a hot cat furry, but Miri is a commander card. I don't think she's been printed in anything other than Commander and maybe a Secret Lair or something. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Hot cat furries are present, but a lot of the hot cat furries that are good are not on Arena yet. Okay. So, your first cube draft is free, and then subsequent cube drafts cost either gems or gold. You earn gold as rewards for your wins. But the downside is that it is a phantom draft, so you don't actually get to keep any of the cards that you draft. Which is good and bad, because then you don't have to worry about taking cards exclusively because you want them for your collection, and so on. Let's see. I like Domri. Domri's pretty good. Adds a mana, creature spells you cast this turn can't be countered, creatures get stronger. -2, have a creature fight another creature. Shrostani Discordant is really good, though. So other creatures get +1/+1. When it enters, you get 2 1/1s, and then each player gains control of all creatures they own, so this is like a way to deal with mind control effects. And, you know, oh, I stole your creature. Well, here, I have Shrostani Discordant, so I get it back. But I think I'm going to take Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid is a really safe pick, because it can tap for mana of any color. So, as long as I have green, Paradise Druid is good. Speaking of green, Carnage Tyrant and Finale of Devastation are both real good. Let's see. We've got some more mana fixing. Green, red, green, blue. Archine of Sun's Grace and Realm Cloaked Giant are both really good. Tough choices. I kind of like Carnage Tyrant. Carnage Tyrant is hard for the opponent to deal with and can easily win the game by himself. Like, Carnage Tyrant hits the opponent 3 times and they are dead. Let's see. Bonder's Enclave would be a pretty good card to get back if I end up going like green, green, red. Slaying Fire could be a good card to pick up at some point, because just 3 damage to any target is always good. But I think I would really want Finale of Devastation back out of all of those cards. Ooh. Alright. Taranika is pretty good. Crucible of Worlds is less good if you don't have fetches, which I don't. You need a very specific deck for Crucible of Worlds to be good. Dryad of Elysian Grove is also good for mana fixing. You can play an additional land on each of your turns, and lands you control are every basic land type in addition to their other types, so any land that you have can be tapped for any color of mana, basically. Gallia, very fun art, totally fine card, but I think I'm just gonna like try and lean into green for the time being. Overcome. It's not fun, it's not interesting. Like, Overcome, just creatures you control get strong and have trample, so it's just like, oh, I play this, I guess I win now. Certainly not exciting. I'm seeing that blue is pretty open. I kind of like Blackblade Reforged. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. You know what? Let's take in Bolus's Clutches. You control Enchanted Permanent. Enchanted Permanent is legendary, so you just steal a thing, which can be really good if your opponent has better things than you do. Probably just gonna be Nightpack Ambusher here. Nightpack Ambusher is nuts. especially if I end up going into green-blue, which it kind of seems like I might. Other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. It has flash. It's a 4/4 for 4. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't cast a spell this turn, create a 2/2 green wolf. So that's good if you have a bunch of spells with flash. That has a bunch of... that's good if you have... if you're just, like, flooding out, just don't have anything to do. That has fallen down the path of blue. You gotta take what's open, man. I'm not gonna try and force green blue, but if the good green cards and the good blue cards are available. I'm lucking out with green though. Feeling pretty good about that. Biogenic Ooze is pretty great. When it enters the battlefield, you get a 2/2 green ooze. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 on each ooze you control, and then you can pay 4 to create an ooze. Blue's fine as long as you're not milling. Maybe. Ooh, Ketria Triome, though. I gotta take the ooze. I need to figure out what my other color is if I'm going to start going deep on lands. Although, maybe not. Nylea Keen-Eyed is pretty good. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. It has a pretty decent mana sink. Just reveal the top card. If it's a creature, put it into your hand. Just gives you a way to spend some mana on the regular. Alternatively, Nyx Lotus. Ooh, Lovestruck Beast is also pretty good. I'm gonna take Nylea. I'm gonna hope that Lovestruck Beast comes back around, but probably not. Indotha Triome, green, black, white. Arch of Orazka is pretty good. Pay 5 and tap, draw a card. Activate this ability only if you have the city's blessing. So this is just a totally serviceable way of keeping yourself from flooding out too bad. Alright, what are we getting back? We're getting some green lands, which is pretty decent. Creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less can't be blocked. Maybe. I kind of like Temple of Malady. Like, even if I don't end up going into black, like, maybe I could play this anyways in a mono green deck just for the Scry 1 effect. Or, Cryptic Caves. Cryptic Caves. More flood protection is good. Bonder's Enclave. I think I need to take Realm Cloak Giant. Realm Cloak Giant can very easily win games by himself. Because, like, you know, you're losing on board. Here, play Realm Cloak Giant, destroy everything that isn't a giant, which is probably everything, and then you play him out as a 7/7 Vigilance creature, which is pretty good. Galia... I think I like Galia more than I like Jace or Crucible of Worlds. Just take Temple Garden. It's just land. Aslade, probably not getting in. Remorseful Cleric, I mean, sure. Well, Aslade can hang out. Ephemia, sure. Nyx Bloom Ancient. Whenever you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times that much mana instead. I do like Nyx Bloom Ancient. Luminous Broodmoth, though. Luminous Broodmoth is nuts. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with flying. The alternative here would be Goreclaw. Whenever Goreclaw... Creature spells you cast with power 4 or greater cost 2 less to cast, and whenever Goreclaw attacks each creature with power 4 or greater, gets +1/+1 and trample. Pretty good. Luminous Broodmoth, I think, has the higher upside overall. Ranger of Eos is cool, but I don't... I don't know. Kind of like Reclamation Sage here, actually. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment. The alternate... Ooh, Mantle of the Wolf, though. Ooh, there are a couple of really good cards for me in here. How many creatures do I have with power 4 or greater already? I have a decent number. I'll take Reclamation Sage, but I would really like to get Mantle of the Wolf or Nessian Hornbeetle back. Klothys. Yeah, it's Klothys. Klothys is bananas. As long as your devotion to green and red is less than 7, Klothys isn't a creature. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a land card, add red or green. Otherwise, you gain 2 life, and Klothys deals 2 damage to each opponent. So, indestructible, 3 mana. You know, even if she never becomes a creature, it's just like a 3 mana enchantment that's indestructible, that almost every turn you are either going to gain some mana or deal 2 to your opponent and gain 2 life. Super good. Super duper good. Downside, now I need to pay a little more attention to red. Temple of Abandon, maybe a good pick here. Ooh, there's some really good cards in here. It may just have to be Embercleave, because Embercleave just wins the game, is the thing. Like, even if you are paying 5 mana for Embercleave, like you are attacking with 1 creature, and you put Embercleave on it. If you're attacking with 1 creature, that creature's, like, in a base green deck, that creature's probably pretty good. And then just give it +1/+1, double strike, and trample. It's hard to argue with. Let's see. This one's red, blue, and white. Kinda want my deck to be base green. Search for a legendary card. Embercleave is legendary, Nylea is legendary, Klothys is legendary. Sure. Sisei's pretty good. Torbran, I would like Torbran, but Torbran is really like a base red card. Like, 3 pips is pretty hard to cast, even if I am base green with some decent fixing. And my fixing isn't that great quite yet, so... Sacred Foundry... Because if I'm doing Naya, like green, white, red, then Sacred Foundry is pretty good. It'd be nice to get Sprouting Renewal or Risk Factor back. The rest of these cards I could care less. Wildborn Preserver is pretty good. Perforos's Intervention is also pretty spicy. Non-human. I don't think I have any humans in here except for Captain Sisei. So whenever a non-human creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay X. When you do, put X counters. It has flash, it has reach. It's pretty good. Wayward Swordtooth is pretty good. Return of the Wild Speaker is also pretty spicy. Wayward Swordtooth is pretty good, though. Can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing, which is you need 10 permanents out on the field. Hey, Nyx Bloom Ancient came back. Sure. Now, what would be really good would be some kind of, like, big-ass mana sink. Just like a big X spell. Fark! Damn it. The card that I would really want best with that would be Finale of Devastation, which we have already lost, because it's gone and passed. Nessian Hornbeetle. It's a 2/2 for 2. That's fine on its own, but at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, put a counter on it. I have a lot of creatures with power 4 or greater. Such is the life of base green. I would love Ethereal Absolution, but I think if I'm going to play any of these cards, it's going to be Charging Monster Soar, and I'm not going to be happy about it if it is Charging Monster Soar. Hey, Temple came back. Goodbye, Chain Whirler. I hate you so much. Chain Whirler was one of the most played cards in Standard at a time where there was a really fun to play token deck available in the format. So I love token decks, so I hated Chain Whirler. Hey, Shield Breaker, I guess? Well... Huh. How many enchantments do I have? 5 enchantments. Satesian Champion is really good. There's a lot of good cards in this pack. I think I'm going to take Satesian Champion for now, but... Oof. Teferi. 5 mana Teferi is so bonkers. Tell you what, I would really like to get back. I would really like to get March of Multitudes back. Actually, no. I'll just take March of Multitudes, and I'll hope that I get Champion back. It seems like people aren't taking green super aggressively. Great Henge. It's great. 9 mana artifact, but costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, and you can tap it to add 2 green, gain 2 life. You don't need to spend the mana to actually to use that ability, so you can just tap that if you don't have anything to do to gain 2 life. It's great. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. Great. Does everything I could possibly want. Jade Light Ranger. Ooh, Jade Light Ranger or Llanowar Elves. Tough choices. Both of these cards are very, very good. Currently, my mana curve is pretty 3-heavy, but the potential for, like, drawing 2 lands, especially in a deck where I have several cards that let me play additional lands, I think we're going Jade Light Ranger. It'd be nice to get Llanowar Elves back on the wheel, but we'll see. Giant Growth, pretty good. Ram Through, maybe. A lot of good black cards showing up this late. Interesting. I really like Integrity Intervention. I think I'm just going to take Ram through, though, because removal, and I really don't have much removal in the deck right now. Hey, speaking of removal, how about Domri's Ambush, which is also removal? The alternative would be Wolf Willow Haven, but I would probably not end up playing this card if I didn't get Setessan Champion back. Domri's Ambush is very good. Put a counter on a creature, and then that creature fights a creature. Or a Planeswalker. It's great. Galta! Why, hello there, win condition numero uno. Galta's so good. Especially with cards like Wayward Swordtooth, where it's like, he can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. Oh no. But then also, like, this creature is adding 5 power, which cuts 5 of the mana cost off of Galta. Galta is exactly what we wanted to see. Perfect pull. Let's see. Tranquil Thicket is tempting. Knight of the Reliquary is good. I think Knight of Autumn may be better for what I... Well, I have Rex Age. Yeah, I'll take Knight of Autumn. It's a little more versatile. I think the other was the correct choice, but kind of liked... ooh, Ferocidon, you say? Very tempting. Ferocidon is great. Well, yeah, no, Ferocidon. Hey, we got Setessan Champion back. Well, now I would have liked to get to have taken the other card in the pack that was... The other card that was in the pack with Rampaging Ferocidon. What a shame. Witch's Oven, Probably not gonna play that. Probably not gonna play any of these, really. Mindstone... Yeah, Mindstone might get in. Who knows? Giant Growth. Not really playing any of these. Hey, got the Tranquil Thicket. Nice. Alright. Okay. So... Woodland Cemetery needs to go. Cryptic Caves and Arch of Orazca are a little less exciting now that I'm 3-color, because I'm probably going to be 3-color. Charging Monstrosaur is meh. I think I can actually get the Devotion for Nylea. So... She seems fine. I really don't have many low drops is the current issue. Ooh, okay, I can bring Galdia back in. Shieldbreaker is good. I don't know if Shieldbreaker is what I want to be doing, though. Mindstone... I like Mindstone, but it's tough. Land. Okay, so it has been automatically adjusting my lands, which is nice. So I've got some decent mana. Like, I've got 3 lands that mana fix, which is nice. I have Paradise Druid. I have Dryad. March of the Multitudes can be a pretty spicy win condition. The problem with March of the Multitudes is that I currently don't have any... lords. I don't have anything that makes my creatures better. Tough. Between Knight of Autumn and Reclamation Sage, I think I don't need the Shield Breaker. Do I need Realm Cloaked Giant? Realm Cloaked Giant, like, cast off, destroy all non-giant creatures, can really swing a game pretty drastically if I'm, like, really far behind. Like, my opponent is just stomping my face in, and then, oh, well, destroyed, just wipe the board, and then I have this massive lad to play. I don't think I have that many sources of lifelink, so Rampaging Ferocidon is still pretty good for me. Do I have any humans that I don't need? I think Captain Sisay is the only human in my deck. No, Cetacean Champion. I only have 4 enchantments. Cetacean Champion... Yeah, I really wasn't drafting the enchantment type deck. Like, this is mostly just a big green stompy with some splashing some other colors for some valuable cards. I really don't want to cut March of Multitudes because that makes the Nyx Bloom Ancient that much worse, but Nyx Bloom Ancient itself may be a little too much of a win more card, because when you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times that as much of that mana instead. So, what are my mana sinks in this deck? Oh, like, okay. So, you ramp. You basically ramp. You basically ramp. You ramp. Maybe I do want to cut Mindstone. It's tough, because Mindstone is one of the things that I have to do at 2 mana. Like, my 2 mana slot is a little light. Not terrible, but just a little light. Compared to mana sinks. So, you are a mana sink. You are a mana sink. You are a mana sink. Oh, you're a mana sink. Okay. Do these mana sinks need to be that massive to win the game? So that's what I need to be thinking about. I need to be thinking about how I'm going to win the game. I think Nyx Bloom Ancient may be too much of a win more situation. And if I'm cutting Nyx Bloom, maybe I don't need March of Multitudes? The problem with March of Multitudes is that March of Multitudes is another card that is a whiff on Nylea. Because the problem with Nylea is reveal the top card. If it's a creature, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. So it's not just like 3 mana draw a card. It's 3 mana maybe draw a card, and that maybe gets worse with every non-creature that I have in the deck. So like non-creature, 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 non-creature. Yeah. Tough. Alright, I think March of the Multitudes can go. The fact that it's also double white in the cost is kind of tough. And if we're going to cut cards based on mana cost, maybe I should also... No, I don't want to get rid of Realm Cloak Giant. I don't want to get rid of Luminous Broodmoth. Okay. Let's put things back where they were. Take another look at the grand scheme of things. Need to cut 1 card. I would be a little more interested in cutting Nylea because maybe I should cut Nylea. I mean, she's a 5/6 if I have the Devotion. What's the likelihood of me having the Devotion by the time? So it's like, I cast Nessian Hornbeetle, Wayward Swordtooth. Nessian Hornbeetle goes to a 3/3, Wayward Swordtooth. It's 5/5. Can't do anything, but that's 8 power between them. And then the next turn I can cast Galta? I think I could cut Nylea. Maybe we'll bring her back in if it turns out that I need some extra... I need more card advantage. Like, I just need to, like, draw more cards or something like that. Maybe. So what do we got? 18 creatures, 5 non-creatures. That sounds like a green deck. Captain Sisay can find a lot of our win conditions, which is pretty exciting. Just like, Captain Sisay, tap, I'll find Galta. Tap, I'll find Great Henge. Tap, I'll find Clothis. Pretty good. Yeah, I think this is good. Especially with Luminous Broodmoth, potentially... so, Luminous Broodmoth, it'll either eat a counterspell or a removal spell, which is fine. Or they don't have the means to get rid of the Broodmoth, and then, like, oh no, you killed my Biogenic Ooze. I guess I'll get Biogenic Ooze back, and now it's flying, and also it comes back in with an extra ooze. Or like, oh no, you blew up my Carnage Tyrant. I guess I'll just get a flying Carnage Tyrant. I like this deck. I think it seems pretty neat. Would have liked to have picked up a little more mana fixing. But that one's on me. I was a little too aggressive in just taking cool stuff early on. Although, to be fair, most of the cool stuff that I took early on is in my deck. So, big concern here is I don't have any ways of, like... I don't have any ways of getting lands out of my deck. Like, I don't have any fetches or fetch-like things. I don't have anything like a rampant growth type deal. I don't have any, like, ramp spells. I have permanents that tap for mana. So may miss out on a little bit of value from Dryad and Wayward, but Dryad also fixing my mana makes Ember Cleave and Realm Cloak Giant and Luminous Broodmoth as win conditions a lot more doable. Okay. Let's give her. Okay, 3 losses, so these are best of ones. Let's see. Okay. I mean, I'm keeping this hand, but it's not exciting and it doesn't really do anything. But if I don't die by turn 4, I'll be able to play Captain Sisay and start getting value out of that. Ooh, maybe my opponent will play some manner of enchantment or artifact that I can destroy with my Knight of Autumn. Nope. I think I might just play out the Paradise Druid and save the Knight of Autumn. Yeah. Because if I play Paradise Druid, then next turn I will be able to play Captain Sisay for sure. Nah, I'm good. Whoa, Strider, huh? Green-black Garbo. I should have made a screenshot of my deck list. I'll play out Sisay. Sacrifice, get the scry. Alright, Jund. I see. Yeah, I'll take the 5. I'm not happy about it, but I will. Interesting. Let's see. Dryad, you're probably staying in my hand for right now, but... you know what, let's just activate Sisay. So I can get Clothis. And then I will play out Clothis. So I'm going to take a little extra damage here. But hopefully... Yeah, there's the Night Pack Ambusher. So I'm taking 9? Tough beats. I've got the Knight of Autumn. I can gain 4 life off of that, which is nice. As long as he doesn't have something that just kills me. 3 lands is pretty tough. I'm doing my best here, but ouch. Yeah. Let's gain some life. Does he have another flash spell? Oh god, he does. Or at least something at instant speed. Vraska's Contempt. Yeah, well. Will activate in response. Guess I'll just get Embercleave. Likelihood of me being able to make use out of it is pretty low at the moment, but pretty sure I'm just dead here. Yeah, not having drawn any lands. Pretty tough time. What is my opponent doing? Huh? Yeah. This'll bring me to 1. Do you have literally anything that does anything? Wait, what? What? Did I not? Oh! I blocked wrong. Wait, no, there was no way I could have blocked right. Both of my creatures had 1 toughness, and the Kavu had trample. I forgot. Oh well, I was super losing that game anyways. Let's see. I don't know, I feel like that game was kind of just an issue of bad draws. Just not drawing any lands outside of my opening 3 in a base green deck. It's tough. Just got the unluck. Yeah. Alright, let's roll it back. I like this. I like this hand. I've got a Scry, so I can try and set up for another land or something. I can just like, or I can try and set up for Paradise Druid, try and find that. Yeah, I like this hand. Especially with like Wayward Swordtooth and Galta. Because if I draw Nessian Hornbeetle and a land, then I can turn 4 Galta. You forgot 13 had good music? Yeah, it does. Final Fantasy 13 has an incredible soundtrack. Archer Razka. Yeah, fine. That's fine. Oh man. Bad beats, my dude. Oh, I'm gonna take a non-creature, non-land hand from your card. You were playing against the wrong deck for that, I'll tell you what. And then let's Dryad and Arch. You got to pulse, but never finish the game. Yeah. Well, that's the problem with 13, is that it's like, oh man. It takes so long to get through the early parts of the game, and then you finally get through the early parts of the game, and it's like, oh goodness. Kind of exhausted. I'm gonna play Broodmoth, so that way I can block his Thief of Sanity. He's playing blue-black, so my Broodmoth is probably not long for this world, but I guess we'll see. I will block. Disfigure. Sure. You got it. What'd be really sweet is if I could draw a land this turn. Stone Coil Serpent, that's fine. Hey, I drew a land. Okay, cool. So... let's see. What do I want to do here? Yeah, okay. So we'll play a mountain, we'll play Jade Light Ranger. Realm Cloak Giant. Not exactly what I'm looking for right now. Temple Garden, perfect. So we'll play the Temple Garden tapped, and then we will ram through, kill the Thief of Sanity. Pass the turn. So next turn, as long as... oh, Shazbot. Well, there goes Galta. Oh, well. I was gonna say, next turn, as long as nothing goes wrong, I can play Swordtooth and Galta, but something went wrong, evidently. Alright, I have ascended! I have the city's blessing! So now Wayward Swordtooth can attack and block. And, if I start flooding out, I can actually start drawing cards off of the Arch of Orazca. What you got, opponent? Ugin! Ugin! Making a thing? That's fine. Yeah, I'll play out Sisay. I'll go find one of my other win conditions next turn. Don't mind if I do. Let's go hit Ugin. Ugin, more like Ugin. Oh no, my opponent drew a card. Whatever will I do? Yeah, that's fine. Sacrifices a creature. Goodbye, Dryad. Ah, well, he just had everything. I'll just play out Knight of Autumn as a 4/3, I guess. Yep. You got it, bud. Draw a card off of the Arch of Orazca. Oh boy, that Ugin. That Ugin is winning the opponent the game single-handedly. I'll just play out these two, just as creatures, I guess. Oh, and they have to cast a Lockthane too? Oh boy. I think I'm losing this one. That Ugin was a rough draw to play against. Hypnotic Spectre. Ugh. Yeah. Boy, howdy. Yep. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I don't think there's anything I can draw at this point that'll actually get me out of this situation, but... No, yeah, there super isn't. Nope. Hachi-machi. I think I'm gonna go 0-3. That first game, that was bad luck on my part. That second game was good luck on my opponent's part. He just got everything he could possibly ever want. Hey! Speaking of everything I could possibly ever want, it's Clothis! I would like to draw another green so I can play that Jade Light Ranger. Oh. Well, I am going to play Reclamation Sage instead of Clothis this turn, because that History of Benalia needs to go. Yeah, sure. Tradesies. Yep. So Clothis is going to start generating me an obscene amount of value. It's just like, hey, were you thinking of getting that History of Benalia back? Nope. And also, I drain you for 2. Seems like a good deal to me. Let's just do Jade Light Ranger this turn. See if I can find another land or something. Paradise Druid... Nah. Because next turn... well, I was going to say next turn I may be able to play Wayward Swordtooth and Galta, but not anymore. Immortal Sun! Boy, howdy. That Immortal Sun is getting destroyed by my Knight of Autumn. Very glad I included both. Both Reclamation Sage and Knight of Autumn, that is. Alright, so next turn... Ooh, okay. Goodbye, Immortal Sun. I could play Nightpack Ambusher and Galta. My opponent may have a Wrath, though. Just a little concerning. I think I'm going to play Galta. It more distinctly demands an answer. If my opponent has a Wrath, I mean, there wasn't a ton I would be able to do about that anyway. But playing it out this way means that next turn I can play out Carnage Tyrant as a removal-resistant threat. If he does have a Wrath. He has a Wrath. Absolutely the most expected. Jade Light, you can go. So unless my opponent has a way, like, has a powerful way of gaining life, I'm still going to win this game. Just because Klothys draining my opponent for 2 every turn. Like, they have 3 turns to either kill me or gain some life. Oh, they have the Chainer's Edict. God damn it. They had one of the few things that would actually kill my Carnage Tyrant. But I am able to prevent them from flashing it back thanks to Klothys. So that's nice. Alright. Even if he plays out Realm Cloak Giant this turn, I think I've got this one in the bag. Ah. He had a source of life gain. Damn shame. Alright. Well, he bought himself a turn, I guess. I'll just play out Embercleave. I guess. What you got, opponent? Oh, when it enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and gain 4 life. Good game. Thanks, Klothys. You know what, Klothys? You get to be the card of my deck. I think Klothys may actually just be the best card in my deck. It's so good. Just like, as long as anything is happening in the game, you are draining your opponent for 2 every turn. It's so powerful. Pretty spicy hand here. Not having the double green is a little annoying, but I do have Horn Beetle into Klothys or Rampaging Frostodon, like, whatever I want to do, basically. My opponent is thinking very hard. Opponent! Knock knock. Whoa, it's a Hellion! Whoa! I appreciate that they started doing Hearthstone environment stuff, where it's just like, hey, click on a thing a lot, and then something will happen. Yeah. Boop. Yeah. Mono white, perhaps? Or some manner of aggro? Nessian Beetle into Wayward Swordtooth is pretty exciting. No blocks. You got it, buddy. Hey! Second forest. So I can Sword Tooth, and then play another mountain, and then my beetle gets bigger. Oh. Oh. Okay. I guess I won't attack. I was gonna attack, but I guess I won't. Look at this fox. Yeah, there's the Benelish Marshal. I'll take the 3. Do I go for the Hail Mary and try and Jade Light Ranger draw 2 lands and play Klothys? That would be pretty absurd if I managed to actually do it. But it would put me in such a good position. I'm doing it. Big money, baby! Come on, 2 lands. That's not 2 lands. Great Henge. This will cost 4? Yeah. Alright, so Horn Beetle is getting big enough that it's going to be real hard for my opponent to actually attack in. You have a soft spot for mono white soldiers? Yeah. I love me some mono white. You're preaching to the choir here. But I also like Naya good stuff, which is kind of what I'm up to. I'm just really excited to be playing Klothys. I don't think I've ever played Klothys. Gonna put Ancestral Blade on Benelish. Ooh, Venerated Loxodon. That's a tough one. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Gotta play out the Great Henge so I can gain that sweet, sweet 2 life. Next turn, I'll be able to get some Klothys going. Jesus. It had been so long since the last one, it scared the bejesus out of me. They're frequently the first deck you slap together. Yeah. It's a simple deck, but it's a lot of fun. Let's see. 3, 6, 9... 15... So I will be able to survive this next turn, assuming that he doesn't play another thing. Assuming he doesn't play anything with haste, and he doesn't play anything that really... That is loud. You're right, it is loud. It's pretty frustrating. Let's see. So, 9, take 15 from this. That's tough. I mean, he's definitely going to sacrifice Aslade to give Benelish Marshal protection from green. So I'm not actually going to kill Benelish Marshal, but I'm probably going to kill Dauntless Bodyguard. Yeah, okay. So, taking some big beats on that one. Clothis. I need to play out Rampaging Ferocidon, which is awkward. Because players can't gain life when Rampaging Ferocidon is out. But I did need the extra blocker. Does that help? Am I still dead? I think I'm still dead. I'm still dead. Damn it. Is he gonna do the smart thing and just flunge? Does he realize that he just wins? He's thinking an awful lot about something. Oh! He didn't attack. Okay. My opponent doesn't have any giants. I'm noticing. Right? Okay. Human, soldier, juggernaut, elephant. Cool. Flunge! Uh-huh. Giants, giants, giants. Become unstoppable. This guy's gonna need a pretty good top deck. That's a decent top deck, but not good enough, I don't think. Yeah. I'm gonna flash in this elf on a fox. Let's see. Analyst Marshall can go. Yeah, I think I'll just cast Realm Cloak Giant. Seems pretty good. I would like to pay 1. Wow. I should have played the land first. I didn't think about it. Planes, I guess. I have 8 life. I can afford to start attacking him now, which is pretty good. What you got, opponent? It's gonna have to be pretty freaking good. Yeah. Hooray! The Realm Cloaked Giant for the win! That's exactly why I have Realm Cloaked Giant in this deck, is for that exact situation. Of just like, oh boy, my opponent's about to kill me. But they're almost empty-handed, or perhaps entirely empty-handed. And they don't have any giants. I don't either. But I will. Pretty good. The stabilization. That was a pretty good game of Magic, though. Like, there was a lot of good back and forths. Like, I was really on the back foot and managed to turn it around. Yeah. Perfect. Come on, draw Scry Temple. No, okay, that's fine. So, Mind Stone into Clothis. Or maybe Rexage if my opponent plays a problematic thing. It would be nice to be able to play out Sisay instead, but I don't have the white source, so Clothis it is. Come on, play a spell. Aww. What a shame. Ferocodon. Just as a 3/3 with Menace. My opponent's playing 4-color over there. Probably some manner of good stuff, if I had to hazard a guess. Oh no, he destroyed my rampaging Ferocodon. How could this have possibly happened? I'm just gonna crack Mindstone. So that way I have a guarantee. I have some extra fuel for Clothis. Plus, it'll hopefully draw me a little closer to... I shouldn't have cracked that Mind Stone. So now I wish I had it for Carnage Tyrant. Oh, is this just 5-color? Yeah, he's playing 5-color. Alright. Let's get rid of Mythos. Nightpack Ambusher is a pretty good draw there. If he has the counterspell, he has the counterspell, but yeah. What are you gonna do? Let's get rid of Ionize. I'm gonna play Rexage just as a creature to start attacking with. If he has something to deal with that, that's fine, because I have Realm Cloaked in hand, I have Knight of Autumn in hand, but right now I'm just really, I'm really praying for a white source. That's not a white source, unfortunately. Can get rid of Chainer's Edict, which is nice. And then I can play Carnage Tyrant, which does have hexproof, so hopefully it's just a little too difficult for my opponent to remove. Search for Oscanta. Alright, well that's a perfect Knight of Autumn target, but I'm just not drawing the white. Ouch. I draw a single white source. I am pretty well in it. Oh, well, he didn't have the removal for the Carnage Tyrant. And that's why Carnage Tyrant is in the deck. Clothis is so good. Should probably check to see if he can get a gate deck back together. Ooh, actually, if you're interested in playing a gate deck, there was a recent addition to Historic that you may be interested in. Whoop. Oh. Oh, I have a lot more sleeves unlocked than I thought. Anyways. Cancel. Select. Yeah. Maze. Not collected. So, if you want to play a Maze deck, you can play Maze's End. And Maze's End... Maze's End is pretty funny. So, Maze's End. Land. Taps, enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add colorless. Pay 3 and return Maze's End to its owner's hand. Search your library for a gate card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. If you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So, it's a complicated deck to play, but just you win. Yeah, It's that. It is exactly that. Unfortunately, I think as far as, like, traditional, like, either... Well, you can't play it in Standard. As far as Historic goes, I think Historic may be a little too powerful for that deck to really get a bunch of wins, but slotting it into, like, a more... like... a lands deck, kind of like a Golos deck, kind of like what those were, you may be able to have some success with it, or just play it similarly to how the old versions of the Gates deck went. Just like, you got the Colossus, you've got the Ram, and then incidentally you have Maze's End, which may just win the game. Yeah, seems good. No white source again, which is scary, but a lot of action in this hand, whether I can play Knight of Autumn or not. Different names, yes. You need to have one of each of the gates, basically. But I think there are a couple of gates that aren't just the traditional 10 guild gates. Hey, a plains. Perfect. Let's play the mountain this turn so they don't know what I'm up to. And then I'll flash in the Wildborn Preserver. Fauna Shaman in a green-black deck. That could be bad, but hopefully it's fine. Archvarozka, and let's just get Klothys out. Never too early to get Klothys out. Destroy creature. Yep, that's fine. That just gives me a Klothys trigger next turn. You may be able to make some manner of... yeah, Heartless, I have to get out of here. You may be able to make a Gladiator deck. A Gladiator gate deck. And have some fun with that, because... Think about Gladiator. So, Gladiator. What is Gladiator, you may ask? Well, it's complicated. But the short version is, it's 100 card singleton, arena legal. So, other than basic lands, you can only have one of each card in your deck. I'm not exactly sure what the ruling is on, like, you may have any number of cards with this name in your deck. I don't know. I would have to look it up. But you have 100 of them. And you can play any card that is legal in, or any card that is currently available on Magic Arena, except for Oko. 3-mana Oko is a no-no. Let's bring in Nightpack Ambusher and see if I can make this block happen. Hey, sweet. You'd assume no. Most of the cards that say you can have any number of this in your deck, most of those cards are not good. So I don't think it'd actually be an issue. Mind Stone, and then I can Knight of Autumn to get rid of the Skittering Surveyor, just to clear up attacks. Rip Oko. He never scored. Oko scored in every single format he was legal in. Oko was obscenely busted. There's a very good reason why he is not with us anymore. Do I want to play Rampaging Ferocidon? I kind of do. No, I don't. Yeah, I'll just spend the mana. Alrighty. But yeah, Gladiator is cool. I have at least one decent question mark Gladiator deck put together. So I would be more than happy to play that with someone. Arch of Orozca. Give me a card. Well, it gave me a card. That's true. Okay. Moment of the Hunt. Yeah, that's fine. What you got, opponent? Voracious Hydra. Oh no! It's gonna fight my knight! It's very rude. Oh well. What you gonna do? So I'm gonna take 6, but I've still got him on a 4-turn clock, and I have stuff that I'll be able to play to not die. Like Galta. Galta's pretty good. So, Jade Light found 2 lands. Domri's Ambush will let me kill the Hydra? Yeah, sure. I play out Ferocidon this turn. Actually, I do want to play out Ferocidon, because I would like to prevent him from gaining any more life. Oh wait, no, because that also activates Clothis. I forgot that Jade Light Ranger is double pipped, so... He can't gain life so long as Rampaging Ferocidon's alive, and then Clothis will just kill him on my main phase. Got there. So, the white splash in this deck is not super impressive, but it has won me a couple of games. Clothis is so good, man. I love Clothis. Thank you, Dan. I'm doing my best. Sometimes my best isn't good enough, but that's okay. Got Clothis in my opening hand, and I'll be able to cast her on 3. Perfect. Doesn't need to be more complicated than that. What would be cool is if I could draw Gallia, so that way I can actually start doing stuff before Heat Death of the Universe. Well, I could have cycled the Tranquil Thicket, but I think I need to just play the Tranquil Thicket, so that way I'm on double green. Non-creature spells cost more. That should be fine. I'm pretty sure I can still cast Clothis. Yeah. I'm going to play out Dryad this turn. But I can cast Clothis without being taxed. So is this just going to be blue-white tempo? Blue blue-white control, blue-white tempo. Yep. That makes sense. Ooze. It's slime time. Thassa with Exclusion Mage, huh? Alright, alright. I see what you're about. Well, I'm gonna pay the life on that, and I am going to Domri's Ambush and get rid of that Exclusion Mage. That is gonna happen. Slime rarely ever gets going. Yeah. It's kind of fragile. I should have just attacked. What am I doing? Can I cast Galta next turn? Ooze gets bigger on end step. Ah, fudge. Well, no Galta for me. Well, he's a 2/4, so he can just go be a stupid sexy dryad. What is himbo dryad? Ridiculous. Mentor of the Meek? Interesting. Alrighty. Well, I would like to draw a card. And I will pass the turn. So, what you got, opponent? You've got some complex stuff happening. Inspiring Construct, sure. They've got engines. They've got stuff, but I guess it will be seen whether or not their engine will be sufficient in standing up against just some big boys. Broodmoth. Broodmoth is pretty good. Yeah. We'll hold on to Broodmoth. Oh no, my opponent gained life! How could this have possibly happened? Understand the concept of love. Oh, they may have just like a grip full of green. They're playing green and haven't really done much so far. Let's see. How many lands do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Play Carnage Tyrant? The Galta? Attack? I got some big boys! Some absolute units out on the field here. And I don't think they can Wrath profitably because of Clothis and the Deputy of Detention. I guess we'll see how this shakes out. But I do have 19 points of trample damage on the board. They're gonna need some pretty good draws here, I think. They don't have double white, so they don't have Settle the Wreckage. Hang in with Clothis. Yeah. Forest, Broodmoth. Oh, right. Thassa has an activated ability, huh? Yeah, well. Still gonna be swanging in. Are they gonna try and kill Carnage Tyrant? Oh, please try and kill Carnage Tyrant. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh. What's that? Flying Carnage Tyrant? Don't mind if I do. Yep. GG. Luminous Broodmoth is so good. I'm so happy with this deck. Like, I've been able to do almost every cool thing that I've wanted to do with this deck. I think the only card that I'm not really impressed with is Rampaging Ferocidon, because I gain way more life than I thought I did, or that I thought I would. The question being, what do I want to replace it with? I got a couple of options here. Remorseful Cleric is absolutely not what I want to do. I want my opponent and myself to have as many things in their graveyard as possible to fuel Clothis. Let's see. I could go with Nylia. Two enchantments in here. I'm thinking it's either Nylia or... Mutiny is funny. Just as a removal spell. Ooh, Act of Treason. Act of Treason can just win a game. Just like, oh, you have a blocker? I have an attacker. Boop. Just get him. I've got all three colors, but no action. I'm gonna mulligan this. Ah, yeah, there's some action. Dumpster that mountain. Alright, so I've got Horn Beetle and Ram Through, which is nice. So, play out Horn Beetle. It'd be really nice to draw a Wayward Sword Tooth this coming turn. Aslade, yeah, sure. I'll take the 2. I think I might lose this game just because I didn't have Clothis in my opening hand. Stormfleet Aeolist. Awkward. I think I'm just gonna get rid of Aslade. I could have attacked in with Horn Beetle to try and bait the block from the Aerialist, and then use Ram Through to kill the Aerialist with the Horn Beetle, but then I would have been 2-for-1ing myself. Trapped in the tower? That's annoying, but it could be worse. Because I'm actually A-okay with my creature still being out on the field, but just, like, not doing anything. How's Arena work in Magic? Do you get booted after 3 losses? In some variants, yes. In best of 1 drafts, do I... kind of just want to cycle this and see if I can draw some action. In best of 1, you play until you get either 7 wins or 3 losses. In best of 3, you play until you get 5 wins or 2 losses. Aw, Brazen Borrower. Rude. All that glitters, huh? Well, my opponent isn't going to play out that Brazen Borrower until... Ooh. Yeah, my opponent isn't going to play out that Brazen Borrower until my end step. So I'm just going to replay the Broodmoth, and then hopefully next turn I have the option of either wrathing or doing something else, I guess. Yeah, I think I need to wrath here. Which should be okay, because I think it's going to bring Dryad and Horn Beetle back with flying? I think. If my opponent has a counterspell, I'm in a bad way, but we'll see. Okay, cool. I do get my dudes back. Nice. Let's play out Sisay, so I can try and start, Ooh. I think if I can get the Great Henge off of Sisay, I'll be in a real good way. Oh! Took the beetle! Why did he take the beetle? I am confused. Great Henge costs 9, I think, and is discounted by the highest. Oh, I could just get Clothis. I should probably just get Clothis. Yep. Clothis time. If you have the counterspell, he did have the counterspell. That's annoying. But I had to go for it. If I draw a land next turn, then I'll be able to play out Great Henge, which is pretty good. Archon of Sun's Grace is annoying. It itself also has lifelink. I could get real fancy with this coming turn, but I don't know how fancy I should get. Alright. Great Henge. If I play this, I have enough mana to cast Great Henge. I'll gain the 2 life back. I'll be able to block the Archon, only take 2, that'll leave me at 4. What does my opponent have? Because if he has a flash creature or a way to buff either of his creatures, then I am donezo. Well, no. He would need a way to buff both of his creatures. Uh-huh. Yeah. Does he have a way to buff it? He didn't. Okay, so I'm in the game for just a little longer. How do I want to do this? So I can get Gallia, Act of Treason, the Archon. Okay, so that'll be 5. I don't have enough mana to do all of that. Alright. Steal the Archon. Attack all out. Embercleave on the Archon. And then I'll be able to re-equip the Embercleave to something else. So I'm at 11. My opponent has 5 damage on the board. Uh-huh. I think I have enough mana to Realm Cloak Giant and Galta, which is pretty great. So, Giant, Galta, Gallia, swing with Sisay and Gallia, I guess? I could have also swung with Dryad, but I really need the blocker in the air to not die. Hey, got there. Oh, that one was a brain buster. Holy cow. So much to think about. Oh my god. I almost have the full 7 wins. Started out with 2 losses, but then proceeded to get 6 wins in a row. This deck's sweet. This deck is so sweet. I'm having a good time with Naya. It's been a while since I've played, since I've, like, put together some manner of Naya deck. No, I can't keep a hand with no green. I can afford to put Embercleave away, I think. I mean, right now I super can't cast it anyways, but also if I need it, hopefully I'll be able to find it with Sisay instead. So, play out the garden. Pelt collector. Ooh. Okay. Oh, is he just gonna swing in? Aw. He saw the future in which his pelt collector died. Let's Wayward Swordtooth. Yeah, I can't pay the X. So this coming turn, we'll be able to get Jade Light Ranger out there. Omen of the Hunt. I really should have picked up the Omen of the Hunt that passed me by during the draft, but... C'est la vie. I would like to pay the 1. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, I'll leave that right there on top. Don't mind if I do. So I've got Domri's Ambush in hand to remove any kind of big problem that my opponent plays out. Like that. That's a big problem. Yeah. Alright. So, we'll play Domri's Ambush on Wayward Swordtooth, get rid of Tendershoot Dryad, and putting the counter on Wayward Swordtooth meant that I was able to play the Great Henge this turn. So now the issue is going to be the very distinct potential of flooding out very badly. But hopefully the Great Henge will kind of smooth that issue out. Hey, ooze. Don't mind if I do. You know what? I would like to pay 2. And I'm going to hope that my opponent forgets that Thief of Sanity does not have wild... I hope that my opponent forgets that my Wildborn Preserver has reach. That's basically my game plan at the moment. Nah, I'm gonna hold on to Jade Light Ranger for the moment. Come on, attack with Thief of Sanity. Attack with Thief of Sanity. My opponent didn't read that this card has reach. Aww. Oh well. Rather than drawing a bunch of cards off of Return of the Wild Speaker, he just... Yep! There it goes! Winning my 7th... Getting my 7th win off of... That has reach? Thanks, Wildborn Preserver. I knew you having reach for no reason would come in handy. That was fun. Alright. After a poor showing in the first 2 games, went on to go 7 wins undefeated. This deck was sweet. Let's see. Was there any cards in this deck that were, like, really unimpressive? I think Rampaging Ferocidon was the worst card in this deck until I took it out. The synergy between Nessian Hornbeetle and Wayward Swordtooth was so nuts. Like, I never got the turn 4 Ghalta off of it, but the potential being there was so much fun. Sisei was unbelievably good. Like, that 6th game, 110% would not have survived if I were not able to get the Great Henge off of Captain Sisei. And just like, Sisei, you know, oh, it's a 4-mana 2/2, but being able to just tutor for some of the best cards in my deck every turn, so good. So good. I never used Embercleave to win the game, but being able to put the Embercleave on that, the Archon of Sun's Grace to gain a bunch of life, that was pretty spicy. This deck did too many things to actually get the extra wolves off of Nightpack Ambusher, but I think that's fine. I don't think there was any big problem with that. Because it's also just a 4/4 for 4 with Flash. Dryad of the Elysian Grove was so good. I would probably take him again over taking Wayward Swordtooth. But having both of them was pretty great. Not having, like, a ton of card draw, like, if this deck ended up being, like, Simic or something, like green-blue, where I had a lot of card draw to actually play a bunch of extra lands every turn, would have been great. But, yeah, this deck was rad, and I had a very good time playing it. You know what? That may be an okay place to end the stream. Well, actually, so I'm gonna add that to my decks, because that deck was rad. Ooh, rare rewards. Fancy. Yep. 6,000 gold I earned off of that. And it was a free entry, because the first, if you have Arena, the first entry into the Cube draft is free. Which is cool. Right, I wanted to talk about my, my Gladiator deck, because I think Gladiator is really cool. As I'd mentioned earlier, Gladiator is 100 card singleton, so you can only have one of any given card aside from basic lands. But you can use any card that's legal on Arena except for Oko. This deck that I have is just like Mardu Aristocrats for the most part, but it does have a couple of... it has some sneaky ways of getting in those last few points of damage. A lot of interesting synergies, and a lot of cards that I think have a lot of potential, but you wouldn't necessarily see them in normal, in non-singleton constructed decks, like Garna. So, Garna the Bloodflame, 3/3 for 5 with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere this turn. Other creatures you control have haste. So, let's say I have something like Woe Strider, which can sacrifice another creature for free at instant speed to scry 1. So I have Woe Strider out. I have, let's say, Mayhem Devil out. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. And I have Garrison Cat out. So when it dies, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Simple. So, I have Woe Strider. Let's say I have the Goat too. So, I sacrifice the Goat, and I deal 1 damage to my opponent from Mayhem Devil. I sacrifice the Garrison Cat and the human that the Garrison Cat creates, So that's another 2 damage to my opponent. And then I can sacrifice either the Mayhem Devil or the Woe Strider itself for another point of damage. And then I play out Garna. I get Woe Strider or Mayhem Devil, whichever was the last to be sacrificed. I could sacrifice the Mayhem Devil first and then just sacrifice the Woe Strider to itself just to get an extra scry, I suppose. So I sacrifice... So I sacrificed all those 4 creatures, and then I play Garna. So all of those creatures that I sacrificed were put into the graveyard this turn. So I play out Garna, I get my Garrison Cat back, I get my Woe Strider back, I get my Mayhem Devil back, and they all have haste, so I can attack in with those creatures, or I can just do that whole sacrifice process again for another 4 damage. And best case scenario, I'm able to do a lot more damage. I'm able to do a lot more interesting stuff than that, but just like as a very simple example. If I'm doing all of that while I have Obosh the Prey Piercer out, if a source you control with an odd converted mana cost would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. So if I have Obosh out along with those other things, then every time I sacrifice something, then Mayhem Devil deals 2 damage. And then that also gives me an extra thing to sacrifice with Woe Strider. And also, after I play out Garna and get all of my stuff back, I can do that whole cycle again, but I can also sacrifice Garna in addition to the other stuff that I'm sacrificing. So, some nifty, fun little stuff like that. There's a lot of sacrifice synergies and cards that like dying, or cards that like other things to dying. Cards that like stuff going to the graveyard, and then I also just have some, like, some value engines, just like Phyrexian Arena. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose a life. Not super synergistic, but just a good thing to have, just drawing an extra card every turn. So, the problem with Gladiator is that it can be pretty heavy on your wild cards. So it's like, I think I spent 4 or 5 mythic wild cards and like 10 rare wild cards on putting this deck together, but I think this deck seems like a lot of fun. Especially considering that, you know, currently I'm not using the wild cards for a ton of other stuff. Like, I'm not really playing Standard right now, so... Plus, since this is the kind of deck that I like to play, and I've been playing Arena since it came out, I already have a lot of... Like, I just had a lot of these cards already. So it doesn't need to be as complicated as this. It doesn't need to be a 3-color deck, because 3-color decks can be really intensive on your wild cards, because, like, oh man, I really need, like, as many sources of each color of mana as I can get, and a lot of the best lands are rare. But yeah, I would like to do a stream where I just play Gladiator against, you know, viewers and stuff like that. So if you have Arena and you find yourself interested in trying out this format, let me know, and I would be glad to try and arrange for like a dedicated stream to doing something like that. But yeah, it's getting pretty late. I didn't intend on this stream being super long anyways, but I had a good time. Just straight up Magic, just playing some Magic, right? Good time. Any particular announcements to make? I don't think so. Yeah, thank you guys so very much for showing up and hanging out. Ongoing streams. I may start getting back to Deadly Premonition sometime in the near future. Dark Souls 3, also currently ongoing. So those are the two major ongoing games. Oh wait, I'm still on the random playlist. I'm ending the stream. It's got to be Costa del Sol. So yeah, Dark Souls 3 and Deadly Premonition are the major ongoing games. Couple of stream ideas that I've been tossing around, doing some more streams of the itch.io bundle for racial justice and equality games. Just like, you know, maybe going back and playing some more A Short Hike or something like that. You know, smaller games that I kind of jump around a little bit more. Multiplayer streams. I would have liked to do some kind of multiplayer stream today, but my sleep has been bad. What are you gonna do? And what was the other thing? If I remember, I'll put it in the Discord. But also, if you guys have any suggestions or requests for like specific games from the bundle, or you know, just specific games in general, hit me up. Let me know. I'm always accepting requests. I may not do the requests, but I'm always accepting them. Like Hitman 2, I still intend on getting around to doing a proper stream of Hitman 2, but it's hard to come up with particularly interesting stuff to do in Hitman 2 just in a vacuum, I suppose. So I'll try and figure out some way of doing that. Maybe there's like an online tool, like one of those death roulette kind of things that I could get going. That could be fun. But yeah. Oh, Doomwads. I do intend on continuing Ancient Aliens at some point, because that Doomwad was super fucking cool and a lot of fun. So, yeah, just a couple of things that may be upcoming sooner than later. Thanks again to everyone for super big thanks to all my subscribers. I recently just got my first payout for you know, subscriber money and bit money and stuff like that. So I'm feeling very, very, very thankful to all of you guys. And hopefully I will see you all on Monday. Thanks, Captioner.